Welcome again to the channel, Life with Jennifer JM. I'm your girl, Auntie Jen. Oh, hope you all doing well. Hope you're doing great. Yes. My viewers, my friend, and my subscriber. The biggest talk everybody still talk about the cabinet. The cost of the cabinet. Those who are in the cabinet and those who are not in the cabinet. But what I'll strike a lot of people is still talking about Marlene Malahoo Fort and all of them things. Well, I see some people that disagree with the Prime Minister with Marlene Malahoo Fort. But for me personal, I think it's one of the best decisions he made. You can't have a constitutional minister. I want to go to court so many times and lose to the court. Is she what? We don't know. Everybody. Anyway, I was listening to Emily Shees and she disagree with the Prime Minister. Maybe I'm going to take a listen to what she said and tell me what I think. Me personally, I disagree, but take a listen.
Which means a merger of justice and constitutional affairs, because the belief probably is that there are overlaps and probably the spend is a bit much to have them separate, and that both can be done under the same ministry or whatever it is. If that is the thinking, it remains incomprehensible to me how that ministry is to be headed by Delroy. It boggles the mind, and it can only have come from either a glitch in the software, or it is the political reality and the seniority of individuals in politics. Delroy Chuck now into his 7th consecutive term as MP in Northeast St. Andrew, indicating his intention to step away and not even to serve the full term after this election. It could only be that the political realities and the need to I suppose, to salute individuals who served the party so long, that the decision is taken to have him front this ministry, being merged with constitutional affairs. And if that is so, there must have been something offered to Marlene Malahoo Fort, because in my view, with all respect to Delroy Chuck, he has over the years, he has had his capacity severely diminished. And I suspect all of us, as we grow older, sometimes we become wiser, but sometimes we do not approach tasks with the diligence that we used to. Sometimes by virtue of the volumes that come in front of us, diligence evaporates without even asking. Yeah? And perhaps that is what has happened with Delroy Chuck as I perceive him. But I don't understand if that is my very, very strong perception. In fact, even on the night of the election, when I heard him say that he's not going to be serving his full term, he will step away at some point in time, I was able to articulate just on the spot that I don't believe he should be made a cabinet member in the new dispensation. In fact, it was my view that he, having served as Speaker of the House of Representatives before, then perhaps he could be given that position, and if there's to be a merger of justice and constitutional affairs, then it would definitely be headed by Marlene Malahoo Fort. Because having watched Mrs. Malahoo Fort over the years, for whatever reason, in my view, she's been treated grossly unfairly. are a number of individuals in this country, but the diligence with which she approaches the job, the diligence with which she prepares for every single session, the responses that she gives, even in the face of great criticisms, very few people can question reasonably the legal soundness of the views that Marlene has expressed. And even those who misquote her sometimes, when the matters do come out in the wash in the court, except for the NIDS challenge, which was not appealed, it was left at the first instance. But when matters even go to the Privy Council, and she has appeared in front of the Privy Council in a lot of matters, the views that she's expressed legally, they've been able to stand the test of time. Now, with the makeup of the Parliament as is, I don't see how the government can survive the onslaught that is expected from the opposition when, as is the situation now, apart from Floyd Green, who is the Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining, and who is an attorney, not one other member of the lower house who is now in the slate of cabinet members, not one of them is an attorney at law, except Delroy and Floyd Green. And it cannot work like that. The thinking that Marlene Malahoo Fort has brought to the portfolio, I have watched her preside over the Joint Select Committee when they were drafting up the Bail Act. And the way in which she prepared, and she was able to take submissions from every single group that came and to interrogate them to the point where a new Bail Act has come, not yet challenged in the court, and perhaps it will be challenged. I don't see a Delroy being able to carry the legislative agenda and to respond to the concerns that will undoubtedly come from the opposition, and to come through a Joint Select Committee of Parliament, and to handle those concerns without support. So I don't know if it is the political realities that's overtaking the cerebral, the moment where sort of cerebral rigor is required. But in my view, there has been a major glitch in the appointment of Delroy to head this ministry, with the exclusion of Malahoo Fort, if constitutional reform remains part of the agenda for the government. And the Prime Minister says it remains so. So unless I'm missing something, something is off. But somebody please tell me I'm missing something. You see, that ministry is so crucial. I think Delroy has brought a lot, despite my view that his capacity has diminished. He's brought a lot in terms of the funding of the Ministry of Justice. A lot of infrastructural development has taken place because he has responded to some of those requests from the Chief Justice and from the judiciary in particular. The issue of the reform with the mediation, the expansion of restorative justice, the going around the island and to engaging people at the local level on what the justice system should be about, some of the areas that it comprises. He has been able to expand the work in those crucial areas. So to that extent, it's not as if his contribution is meaningless. It is not. But where we are now, and with the skills that's available based on the things I see as necessary for the reform to take place, the degree of meticulousness and diligence that is required, I think it would be more than desirable to have the skill sets of Marlene Malahoo Fort continuing, perhaps coming out of the office of the Prime Minister, working directly with the Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, if that is the ministry, because of the need to perhaps cut cost, perhaps in that way for the moment. But a complete exclusion is incomprehensible to me. Yeah? Look at the people you're going to be up against. So many times questions are asked on crucial amendments to various laws in the parliament and proper responses cannot come. We cannot have that anymore. Yeah? But whatever it is that has caused this, I think it needs to be addressed.
Yes, so I wanna hear it, I wanna hear it, I wanna hear it. I still stand my ground. I think one of the best decision in do not put her back. You can't somebody for advise you and you go to court and you lose. And put him back again for continue lose. Me not say true it. So me not agree with Emily I say. Some of us should say yes, but me agree with this one. You no can tell me what you think. Tell me if you think it was the right decision. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. And guess what? I'll catch you the next time. I'm your girl, Auntie Jen. Bye.